Well, how did I get into Theosophy? Honestly, I never expected myself, not even in my wildest imagination, to get to know Theosophy, let alone even to be a member of the Theosophical Society. But I really believe that everything is synchronicity, no? The term of Carl Jung. There are no random chances, coincidences, or unexpected accidents in our universe, governed by supreme intelligence. I became a theosophist by two factors. Okay? Number one is temperament, and second, karmic circumstance. First, temperament. As a child, I was very curious. I believe every child is, but I really, looking back in my childhood, I was a seeker of truth. And I remember always being attracted as a child to the mysterious atmosphere of nature. My mom had a beautiful garden in our front yard, in our house, okay? I would feel the presences of and communicate with nature spirits. But during that time, I even did not know about nature spirits. But I felt every time I visited the verdant garden of my mom in the front yard, there was a different kind of feel to it than when I was in the room or when I was inside the house or outside the house. Nature has always been very, very attractive or very compelling. It has a certain magnetism to my soul, and I already felt that as a child, especially during the late afternoons, where it was quite dark, and the presences would be very intense to me. And I remember as a child, I found a blue crystal on the road. I would walk from home to school. It's like just 2 kilometers, from. I was a grade schooler then, and I found a blue crystal, and I remember getting it and keeping it in my pocket. And you know what? It lasted with me for many, many years until it just got lost. But I remember having a certain attraction to that blue crystal because I held it. It somehow seemed to give me a kind of power, a kind of vibration, which I felt even as a child. So again, the temperament factor. And I also remember as a child, I woke up from sleep, from a sound siesta in my grandma's place. And in the room, as my sleepy eyes was opening, my eyes happened to fall on a poem, a poster on the wall. And the poster was Desiderata, written by Max Ehrmann. And I'm sure everyone knows about it. And I remember during that time as a child, it was so powerful. Every line in the Desiderata by Max Ehrmann seemed to, pull something in my soul and inspire me. And of course, as this feeling, this temperament of curiosity and feeling the vibrations of things, it lasted with me until my adult years. My basic temperament is as a contemplative. Well, I have to admit that I was a devoted Catholic ever since. Okay, my postgraduate degree in religious education gave me the intellectual and doctrinal foundation of the faith. But you know what? Increasingly, I became dissatisfied with what my mainstream organized religion offered me. I felt that everything was organized religion was too ritualistic, and sometimes even the rituals themselves lost the soul. Okay, the soul. Everything became so mechanical and meaningless to me. I wanted more than churchianity. I wanted more than that. And the exoteric concepts and practices of traditional religion. Okay? I yearned for deeper truths and the profound aspects of life, as a contemplative. I was always attracted to silence, mysticism, esotericism, and the contemplative tradition. I have to admit, I love to visit during my college days. I would love to visit and pray for hours in churches, especially the churches of the monasteries, and having, of course, many mystical experiences in this. The older the church, the better. Okay. I even wanted to become, at one point in my life during my college years, I wanted to become a Benedictine Trappist monk in Guimaras Island during my college years. I would even have my own frequent retreats there. I would go there alone in Guimaras, the Benedictine Trappist monks there. I would go there and, of course, discern my vocations. This yearning for truth lasted with me all through these years. And I also remember since high school, I would read books. I was a lover of books. I would read books about anything, especially the more difficult the subject, I would read. The more challenging the subject matter, the better for me. Okay? I would buy books. I frequented libraries, okay, during my high school years, my college days. I was a bookworm, and I would really dive deep into the subject matter. I remember in high school, I would read the books on quantum mechanics, the theory of relativity, and stuff like that. Okay, and I loved reading and digesting to my soul the spiritual wisdom, especially from classic spiritual literature. I don't especially buy those books that are written by authors that simply comment about the classics. I would buy the classics themselves, okay, and read it. During college days, since of course I was not yet in the Theosophical Society, I would buy books by the renowned Carmelite mystics, the fathers of the church, the Rhineland mystics, and so forth. Right now, today, I have built myself a substantial library of books on not just Christian theology or Catholic matters, but I have a substantial library of varied books on theosophy, metaphysics, mysticism, occultism, the new science of quantum mechanics and the new cosmology, Eastern and Western and indigenous spirituality, the arts and humanities, poetry, classical music. I'm a lover of classical music. Environmental advocacy, what I call eco-cosmic spirituality, the new consciousness, and mind-body medicine. I really believe in the value of books as a seeker of truth. And I especially like what Marcus Cicero said. He said, a room without books is like a body without a soul. And well, secondly, that's my temperament, okay, the factor of temperament. The second factor why how I got into theosophy was really karmic circumstance. I had a bout of depression in 2004. And when you are in depression, you're constantly being attacked by negative thoughts, and you tend to believe your mind, and there's no way out of the chattering mind, the accusing mind, the judgmental mind. I had no way out there. I was so helpless, and I was even, I had suicidal thoughts. I must admit I had that during my depression days, until a friend of mine recommended a book of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, and this was in 2004. In my desperate attempt to be healed from the sickness of the mind during my depression, I read the book reluctantly. I read it. There was curiosity, but at the same time, doubt whether this book can really help me or not. And I found out that in that book, the central message of Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now is, you are not your mind. You are the witness of the mind. And during that time, it was hard for me to understand that. Because, when you are depressed, you are your mind. There's no way out of that, okay? But later on, I started to explore the technique of meditation on my own. Nobody taught me the meditation, and I noticed slowly that I was able to observe the thoughts in my mind. And I was also able to realize what Eckhart Tolle said, that you are the witness of your thoughts. And I slowly experienced it, it's no longer a theory. I experienced it every time there was an accusing thought, a depressive thought. I could be the witness of that thought, okay? Hence, I could transcend the thinking mind. In other words, there was something or someone in me more fundamental than thought. And that is the essence of my true spiritual essence, no? Which is the witness, the Atman, the silent witness, okay? And after a year, that was in 2004, I had an awakening experience. So I really struggled with depression for a year, okay? Until the breakthrough happened in 2005, when I started to notice the thoughts in my mind and started to gain mastery over the mind. And every time the mind would accuse me and those depression thoughts would come again, I could stand, apart from it and say, and even tell the thought, you are a liar. You are not me, okay? And I remember one time, here is how I entered the Theosophical Society. I was surfing the internet, and I saw, a website that kind of summarized the basic tenets of Theosophy. So, and I noticed as I was reading these basic tenets of Theosophy in the internet, it resonated in my heart and in my soul. I somehow, the feeling was like I found what I have been looking for all my life. Okay? I was reading those tenets and it was, resonating in my heart. And I even discovered in the internet that there was a Theosophical Society in the Philippines. During that time, I was in Manila. I was living in Makati. And the Theosophical Society in the Philippines was located in number 1 Iba Street, Quezon City. So I visited them. I went there because somehow the teachings resonated in my soul. And lo and behold, I was so attracted to the bookstore. The first attraction of the Theosophical Society in the Philippines, in the headquarters, was the books. The books, I would buy them, and I, of course, buy all of them and spend all my money for them and read voraciously. And, well, the rest is history. And I could say that the ageless wisdom has changed my life in really radical ways, in a very tremendous way. First of all, it has gave me a holistic frame of mind. When I was a conservative Catholic, okay, I was very dogmatic, very rigid, and very closed-minded. Okay, but when I started studying comparative religion, I started to realize that the so-called Word of God, or it's not just the Bible. Okay, well, popularly speaking, the Bible is really the revealed Word of God. That's according to Christianity. But in my experience, as I was studying the sacred scriptures of all the religions and spiritual traditions of the world, I started to realize that the Word of God is really the voice of the Supreme Being, resounding in all the religions, in all the sacred texts. And scriptures of the religion. So Theosophy has changed my life a lot. I am so thankful to the Theosophical Society and of course to Theosophy itself and to the karmic circumstances that led me to it, because it has freed me from rigidity and has given me a more holistic frame of mind, of heart, and of soul.